here in the zone,
yes,
and tomorrow in D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser will present former Commanders player Darrell Green with the key to the city. As you may know, Darrell Green was an historic legacy player for the Washington football team, a cornerback for 20 seasons in the NFL, playing his entire career in D.C. Joining us now in a Fox 5 exclusive is D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser herself. Mayor Bowser, thank you for coming on the DMV Zone. Good to see you.
My pleasure.
Hey.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk first about this great honor that you will be awarding Darrell Green the keys to the city on Saturday, before the big game on Sunday. I imagine that this is a huge honor, not just for him, but for yourself as well.
It absolutely is, and we are going to be downtown in Franklin Park tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m., where we will give Darrell Green the key to the city. The team, the Washington Commanders, are honoring him by retiring his jersey, a 20-year veteran, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, and we're just proud to honor Darrell from the city.
Absolutely. We see all those children behind you there.
I was going to say, who are the young people around you?
These are the Emory Heights. Who else do we have here? Our little football players. All right. And they are just coming out to help us celebrate as well. And all the fans of all ages, Washingtonians of all ages, should join us tomorrow at 10. There are going to be some fun, free activities down at Franklin Park.
And I'm sure they will be. And Mayor, a storied past for the Washington football team. You've got those young children around you, born and raised, I'm sure, the majority of them in D.C. It would be your legacy to bring back the Washington football team back into the District of Columbia. I know we have to address the elephant in the room. RFK Stadium, D.C. just finalizing a contract for $500,000 of a study that just wrapped up about 2 weeks ago on the potential of bringing it back into D.C. What do you know about the study, and what has the report told you, Mayor?
Well, the big thing that I think everybody knows, and that we as Washingtonians have to spread the word, that we are the sports capital. We're very proud that we're going to have a beautifully renovated Capital One Arena right in downtown Washington. We know the history of RFK. It is actually reminds Washingtonians like myself, who grew up watching Darrell Green play, was there for those Super Bowl championships, and we know the role that the stadium played with his rocking seats, the actual 12th man to get the job done. So we know that it's also a matter of what is right and just for the city, that we should control that nearly 200 acres. We need housing. We need jobs. We need economic development on that site, not a stadium that's falling down. Yeah. So we have the opportunity to do all of that, plus the new home for the Washington Commanders.
Mayor, you have found yourself.
Yeah. The kids know, too.
It seems as though those kids would like to see the Washington football team back in D.C. as well. Mayor, you found yourself with some unlikely friends in Congress and some unlikely foes as well. Maryland Democratic Senator Van Hollen saying that he does not want the team to leave Maryland. You were asking...
Not only him, I want the team to stay around the corner from my house, Muriel Bowser, if you don't mind, Mayor Bowser.
So I think, again, that there are some people
Well, you...
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's uncommon that we can have an issue that brings people together. Maryland fans, Virginia fans, D.C. fans, all want the team to be at RFK. We want that winning spirit back. But having said all of that, we know, and I go back to this, for as long as I've been mayor, whether the stadium is there or not at RFK, the district needs to control it, because D.C. residents and taxpayers are willing to invest in those 200 acres to give us what we need in the city. More housing, better connections to the Anacostia River, more economic development and recreational opportunities. We want to bring that parcel alive. It shouldn't just be a sea of parking and a falling down stadium. stadium. And in order to do that, we need the Congress to act. And that's what we're asking everyone to do what is right and just. And then we can talk about what's the best place for the team.
Well, to that point, you have found yourself some unlikely allies in Congress, a lot of Republicans who support your mission as well. And I'm wondering, there's been a lot of talk about the former logo, the logo of the Blackfeet family. There's a senator from Montana, Senator Daines, that says he will not allow the stadium to come into D.C. if not the logo be part of that deal. Are you willing to support the Blackfeet family, the family of the chief, and including Senator Daines in bringing back that logo?
Listen, I think that all of the issues that are going to be discussed in the Congress, they're getting the proper airing in the Senate. And you mentioned that there are Republicans supporting it, but there are Democrats supporting it too, because people know that is the right thing to do to make sure that that RFK Stadium and parcel gets a new life and needs a fresh start. And the National Park Service has been a great partner to us, but they're responsible for parklands all across the nation. And this one just can't be or hasn't been a priority to renovate. That's why we want to be a partner. We want to be a steward of that land, and we want to bring it back to life. And all of the issues that are before the Congress, we're confident will be worked out.
Well, and Mayor, obviously, when we talk about the 51st state, statehood, we have seen D.C.'s problems being aired out in Congress, and crime was something that was on Capitol Hill, front and center. Your violent crime numbers, they are trending downward, a positive thing, absolutely 31% down, although the homicide rate still remains fairly large, 154 deaths so far this year for homicides. We were just talking with Artisha Lewis in Northeast D.C., and we were at a business that has been repeatedly burglarized, repeatedly robbed. There are businesses not just like that one, many throughout the city that tell the same story. You've got vacancy rates in commercial real estate across downtown right now that are nearing 20%. In the last quarter, no new developments. We're seeing foreclosures. Tenants are saying we want out of ERAP. We want to be able to get people to pay our rent. How do you get the city back on its feet, Mayor? How do you get the economy rolling again? I know you have a call to the federal government to bring workers back into the city, to get that money flowing again. But right now, all of those roads and all of those avenues do not seem to be forward moving. How do you get that back up to steam?
Oh, you're quite wrong. What we see is the type of activity in the city that we want to see. We see crime down. We see visitation up. We see more people going to our restaurants, more people going to our concerts. We see more activity in our housing market. And we're leading the nation in transforming our downtown, taking underutilized office space. We're in a new world now. People don't come and use office space like they once did. But we have a plan to transform those underutilized offices to great, beautiful housing in our downtown. And it is true, we are rebalancing our public and affordable housing ecosystem. We have worked with the council to change some of the policies that have really upended that affordable housing system. And it is important that people recognize that this is not COVID. People are back to work, and they have to pay their rent. And that is what's going to keep the 70% of the people who are in great, safe, maintained, affordable housing.
I love it. I want to go back to that 200-acre parcel. I, like you, have watched it be RFK for most of my life. What would you ultimately like to see there? No more parking lots and so on and so forth. What would go there that would be the shining example of what could happen?
It would basically be a smaller little neighborhood adjacent to the Anacostia Rivers, 200 acres. So hundreds of units of housing, a new local recreation facility that we have funded and will work with the council to continue to fund, an entertainment area for hotel and restaurants and other venues, great connections, new trails and parks along the Anacostia so that people who have never been able to interact with the Anacostia from that point will now be able to do it because of new parks and recreation. And it has the space, and we know it has the space because there's a stadium there now for a new stadium that's already connected to the highway, that's already connected to the metro system, that's already connected to bike and walking trails. So we think it's a great opportunity for a mix of uses that's going to create jobs and housing and bring economic returns to the district.
All right, well, we await the results of the report that just completed. Mayor, before we go, as we wrap up here, in the political world, 2 years is a long time. You're a three-time mayor. You're coming up on your decade of mayorship for D.C. I'd be remiss to ask if you are looking to be the only mayor in D.C. To achieve a fourth term.
Well, if I did, I would go to the voters, talk about all of the great things that we've been able to accomplish together and what it takes to bring the city fully back. But I wouldn't be the first. Marion Barry was a four-time mayor. I would be the first to do it consecutively.
Exactly.
But what I know, my job is now, yes, I always learn this. If you want to get a job or keep a job, do the job you have. And that's what we're focused on delivering for the people of the District of Columbia.
All right, the fourth consecutive term of mayor and the first female. Mayor Bowser, we appreciate you coming on the DMV Zone and speaking with us here on Fox 5.
Thank you, guys.
Again,
say bye.
Bye, guys.
We will see you this weekend when you give DC's keys to Darrell Green. Thank you, Mayor Bowser. All right, that was a conversation there with Mayor Bowser on the DMV Zone.
10 years in the making.
Could be. We'll see. Stay with us here. We'll be right back.
That was a 10-year in the making.